Excuse me.
Mr. Jar Jar Binks. Everybody hates me. But why? Come on, Andrew. Persuade them to love me.
Okay, Jar Jar, if you say so. He's been called the most hated character in cinema history. Yeah. A walking, talking symbol of everything some folks think went wrong with the Star Wars prequel trilogy. But what if I told you the story of Jar Jar Binks, that bumbling Gungan from Naboo, is way more complex, maybe even more important than a million internet memes would you have believe? Get ready, because your Star Wars perceptions might just get a little shaken up. Seriously, forget the pratfalls for a sec. Forget Mr. Jar Jar. Think about this. The tech used to bring Jar Jar to life. It was a game changer for movies, literally paving the way for characters like Gollum, Thanos, and the Na'vi. And his actions, clumsy as they seemed, directly helped set the stage for the Empire's rise. Still think he's some clumsy fool? Let's dig in.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent. Now get out.
Okay, let's be real. When The Phantom Menace landed in 1999, the reaction to Jar Jar Binks was, well, pretty intense. A lot of older fans who grew up with the original trilogy, his slapstick humour felt totally out of place. Critics and audiences found his antics annoying. His way of talking grated on them. And he just seemed like a distraction from the serious galactic drama going on. The character became a magnet for criticism. Some people even accused his portrayal of leaning into uncomfortable racial stereotypes, particularly of Caribbean people. Now, that was a charge disputed by some, but it really hurt how people saw the character and, tragically, the actor who played him. George Lucas said himself that Jar Jar was meant to be comic relief type thing, especially for younger viewers. Kind of like Disney's Goofy. But for a huge chunk of the audience, the comedies didn't hit the mark, and Jar Jar quickly became the poster child for what they felt was wrong with the prequels. He was seen as childish, pointless, and a massive detour from the Star Wars tone they knew and loved. The backlash was so fierce, it's been echoing through fan communities for over 20 years, cementing Jar Jar's reputation as one of the film's most disliked figures. So, George Lucas's goal for Jar Jar was pretty clear. He was supposed to be that classic fool character, the one bringing that slapstick laughs, mostly for the kids, while all the dark political stuff was happening in The Phantom Menace. Ahmed Best, the super talented actor behind Jar Jar, actually took inspiration from silent film legends like Buster Keaton for his physical comedy. That was a deliberate move, aiming for that timeless, physical kind of humour. The hiccup for many? The execution. While some kids definitely found Jar Jar funny, a big part of the audience found the humour, like we said, more annoying than charming. The poodoo jokes, the over-the-top clumsiness, that unique dialect, it just all mashed together into something that many found irritating rather than entertaining. But it's maybe worth looking again at some of those comedic moments. Take that battle on Naboo's plains, Jar Jar's chaotic fumbling with Boombas, getting his foot stuck in a droid, and accidentally taking out enemy tanks. It's pure, unfiltered slapstick. Is it super smart humour? Nah. But was it ever meant to be? Probably not. The humour was broad, designed for simple laughs. And sometimes, especially for its target audience, it actually worked. The real disconnect happened when this type of humour dropped into the bigger, more serious story that older fans held so dear. But you can't deny Ahmed's best's commitment to the role's physicality, the sheer energy he brought. He wasn't just a voice, he was the physical performance that animators then built upon. Maybe the problem wasn't just the idea of the humour, but how often it appeared, and how much it seemed to clash with the film's overall tone. Despite all the drama around how he acted, Jar Jar Binks is, without a doubt, a trigger for some really key plot points in the prequels. In a lot of ways, he's an unlikely hero, fitting that classic Star Wars pattern where ordinary folks find themselves in extraordinary situations. For example, when Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi are stuck on Naboo, who is it that, even though he's been banished, leads them to Otogunga, the hidden Gungan underwater sea? Jar Jar Binks. This introduction isn't just some minor detail. It's the crucial first step in building an alliance between the Naboo and the Gungans, an alliance that was absolutely vital for fighting off the Trade Federation invasion. Later on, there's a brand new general. Jar Jar, for all his blunders on the battlefield, still plays his part in the Gungan Grand Army's right against the droid forces. His chaotic presence, even if its effectiveness was often accidental, added to the general confusion that actually helped the Gungan cause. But maybe his most significant, and you could argue most controversial, plot moment happens in The Attack of the Clones, Episode 2. As a junior representative for the Naboo in the Galactic Senate, it is Jar Jar who, while Padme Amidala is away, proposes giving emergency powers to Chancellor Palpatine. This one act is a massive turning point, directly allowing Palpatine to grab more power and eventually turn the Republic into the Empire. While it's often seen as a moment of him being naive and making a terrible political mistake, and it sure looks that way, its impact is huge. Jar Jar, the supposed fool, ends up being an unwitting tool in the galaxy's slide into darkness. Whether it was planned or just pure galaxy-altering clumsiness, Jar Jar's actions have massive consequences, making him way more than just a background clown. Beyond his role in the story, Jar Jar Binks was a massive leap forward in movie-making technology. He was the first fully computer-generated supporting character in a live-action film. That's huge! It's a groundbreaking motion capture work from Industrial Light and Magic, more known as ILM. Ahmed Best's performance wasn't just his voice. He wore a motion capture suit on set, actually interacting with the other actors. This gave a physical reference that was then transformed into the animated Gungan. This was pioneering stuff. Before Jar Jar, having CGI characters this prominent and interactive was pretty much unheard of. The techniques they found and fine-tuned for Jar Jar basically laid the foundation for countless digital characters that came after him. Think about Gollum in Lord of the Rings. Great film trilogy, by the way. The Na'vi in Avatar. Or even Thanos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Ahmed Best himself has rightly pointed this out, saying, you can't have Gollum without Jar Jar. You can't have the Na'vi in Avatar without Jar Jar. You can't have Thanos or the Hulk without Jar Jar. I was the signal for the rest of this art form. ILM's work on Jar Jar really pushed the limits of what was possible, showing that a fully CGI character could interact believably in a live-action setting and actually deliver a performance. While some critics back then felt the tech wasn't quite perfect, how innovative it was is now widely recognised. So, Jar Jar holds a pretty important place in movie history, not just as a character, but as a tech trailblazer. Welcome, fans, because now we're diving into the biggest fan theory about Jar Jar Binks, the accidental Sith Lord. Maybe one of the most fascinating things about Jar Jar's legacy is the Darth Jar Jar theory. This fan theory, which really blew up online, suggests that Jar Jar Binks wasn't a clumsy fool at all, but a secretly powerful Force user, maybe even a Sith Lord, pulling strings behind the scenes. People who believe this point seems that it's his seemingly impossible luck, how he's always there as key moments, like convincing the Senate to give Palpatine emergency powers, and even some of his physical moves as proof as a hidden, darker agenda. Some even think his clumsiness was all an elaborate act, the perfect disguise to make sure the Jedi and his enemies totally underestimated him. George Lucas has never actually confirmed this theory, and he generally said Jar Jar was just for comic relief, but the idea has taken on a life of its own. It's led to endless discussions, tons of memes, and even some nods in non-canon Lego Star Wars stuff, and even the hit shooting game, Fortnite. Darth Jar Jar theory kind of shows a desire among some fans to find more depth and complexity in a character that was so widely written off. It's a cool example of how Star Wars characters can go beyond what we see on screen and become something more in the collective fan imagination. Whether it's true or not, this theory has definitely kept Jar Jar in pop culture conversations, changing him from just a hated figure into a subject of intriguing and often hilarious speculation. Okay, so why might Jar Jar be more than you think? So, after looking at all these different sides, where do we stand on Jar Jar Binks? Is he just the cinematic train wreck many made him out to be? Or is there something more going on here? I think the evidence points to a much more complicated picture. Jar Jar Binks was a pioneering piece of technology, a character whose creation pushed digital effects forward in ways we still see today. He played an undeniably crucial, even if often accidental, role in the story of the Republic's fall. And his humour, while it didn't land for everyone, was aimed at a specific audience and came from classic comedy traditions. Many who were kids when The Phantom Menace came out are adults now, with a different, maybe more nostalgic understanding or view of the character. The Darth Jar Jar theory shows a collective urge to find deeper meanings, which is a nod to the character's lasting, if controversial, mark on pop culture, and crucially, understanding the profound and unfair impact the backlash had on Ahmed Best. Jar Jar might not have been perfectly executed, and the criticisms of how he was initially portrayed are valid to many. But just to write him off completely is to ignore his significant, many-sided impact on Star Wars and filmmaking itself. He is, as Ahmed Best has put it, a character who changed movies. Alright, saying Jar Jar Binks is your new favourite Star Wars character might still be a bit of a stretch for some people. That initial cringe of all those years of internet jokes, that's a tough reputation to overcome. But maybe, after just digging a little deeper, a new appreciation is possible. An understanding that underneath all the rishas and the bumbling, there's a character of real importance, a pioneer of film tech, and a focus for some of the saga's most complex charts about intention, reception, and legacy. So, what are your thoughts on Jar Jar Binks? Now, has your opinion shifted at all? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this little exploration, Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe for more Star Wars analysis. Bye for now, and may the Force be with you.
Those energy binders.